My name's Linda Lee Jolly, and I'm the director of the Troy Hayner Cultural Center, and this is the View from Hayner. With me today, I have our program coordinator, Terry Lynn Neese. Good morning.
Good morning.
And I also have our assistant director, David Wyatt. Good morning, David.
Good morning.
Terry Lynn, it's February, and of course, all thoughts turn to Valentine's Day, and we are getting ready for a big dinner.
Yeah, we had a great response to our reservations, and we're going to have nice full houses both nights. We have a lovely wine offering from Versailles Winery. If you're lucky enough to have gotten reservations, come between 5 and 5:30. And then we'll eat dinner around 6, and then the Bob Cates show will start about 7:30.
Always so much fun, and 2 nights because it's always such a popular event.
Yeah.
But you did say reservations are full this year.
Reservations are full for this year, but think about it next January, because I know it's hard to think about Valentine's Day in January, but it's good to think ahead. So.
It comes so early in the month. So, okay, well, even if you missed out on Valentine dinner and a show this year, there are lots of reasons to come to the Hayner Center this month. And also in March, we've planned a lot of activities to help chase away the winter blues this year. Of course, we haven't had too many bad winter days so far, but we were playing, we're ready, so lots of opportunities to come in. And one of the things that happened this month that's really a lot of fun is that Matt Jackson completed an Eagle Scout project for us. And this is something that I think we've needed for a long time that I think people will really enjoy. He has set up a QR code self-guided tour of the house. Yes. So in all of the rooms are little pedestals that you can just focus your smartphone QR reader on, and the wonderful voice of Alan Cappers will tell you all about the Hayner house and a little bit of the history. So that's a lot of fun. And of course, that can be enjoyed anytime during our open hours. You can just come in and follow the tour, or anytime you're here for any one of the activities. So that's a lot of fun. And another thing I want to announce right now, even though the deadline is not until April 1st, we are looking for poets for our 6th annual poetry competition. And so this is the time for poets to be inspired, creating new works or choosing their best that they have to offer for this competition. And there are cash prizes. And in addition to the cash prizes, the winners in categories both for adults and students will be the readers in our April poetry reading, which is a Poetry Month celebration. But the poetry series starts this month. On February 21st is our first reading, and it's by Catherine Essinger.
She is absolutely one of my favorite poets, on the planet. And I brought a little something that she wrote just to kind of give you a feel for what she does. She has this lovely book called My Dog Does Not Read Plato. And one of her poems is, My Dog Practices Geometry, and it begins like this. I do not understand the poets who tell me that I should not personify. Every morning the willow auditions for a new role outside my bedroom window. Today she is Clytemnestra, yesterday a southern belle, lost in her own melodrama, sinking on her skirts. And that's the kind of thing that Catherine does, is she crafts her words to paint pictures in your head. She just has a lovely use of words.
And that's what's so interesting and unique about the poetry readings. They're just so different and so much fun to come out to Hayner, enjoy a cup of tea, and spend a little time listening to the poets read from their own works.
Yeah.
So poetry, as written word, of course, it always engages our imagination and paints pictures for us when we read it ourselves. But I really enjoy the opportunity to meet the poets and hear their inflection, their words. It really helps you to appreciate the poetry. And Catherine, of course, Catherine Essinger is a poet that's known in our area quite well. She taught at Edison for many years and led poetry groups locally. She's also a member of the Greenville Poet
and
group.
she has quite a biography. If you look into
she
it,
does.
She has some wonderful books she's written.
And that is on our website,
yeah.
right? So people can find out more about her, or just for the experience on February 25th. That's a Thursday evening. And of course, we have many concerts for February and March, correct?
Yes, our drawing room concert for February is going to be February the 23rd. And these concerts, this series is always the last Tuesday of each month in the school year. And it's hosted by Dr. Randall Paul, who is the Director of Music at Wright State University. So it's a wonderful series. But this month will be David Crean, who is an adjunct professor at Wittenberg University, and he'll be playing our harpsichord.
Oh, no, that's really unique. We don't get to hear the harpsichord very often.
No, it's a really wonderful opportunity. And there's a little bit of difference between the piano and the harpsichord. There's actually a lot of difference. But the main difference is...
well, the harpsichord was the forerunner of the modern-day piano, and probably the most recognizable difference is the way that the hammers work with the strings. On a harpsichord, the hammer rises and actually plucks the string, and that's what gives that delicate harpsichord kind of sound. As opposed to a piano, when you strike the hammer, it actually strikes the strings. And one of the other things, the performer on a harpsichord, by playing, can't control the volume or the intensity of the sound. There are stops on the harpsichord that will accomplish that. Where on the piano, if you're more aggressively playing, the louder the sound is. And if it's playing
There's
lightly,
lots of range on a piano, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and our harpsichord is particularly special because it was built in 1968 from a kit by the high school senior class. They bought this. One of the parents bought this 40-pound harpsichord kit, and the kids put it together. And here it sits in our cultural center. And we're going to bring it back to life on February the 23rd at 7:30 p.m.
Now, when David comes to play, I really appreciate his performances. He's the kind of performer that I like to have at the Hayner Center, because not only is he an outstanding musician, but he teaches art or music appreciation at Wittenberg. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And so not only is he going to play magnificent music and he's an excellent musician, but he will also be able to tell us something about the instrument, something about the music that he's playing, and it's just going to be a really nice evening.
Yeah.
And then March is Jazz Month at Hayner, right?
Yes, but we also have a concert February 27th.
Oh, is that our family night
Yeah,
concert?
that's the family night
Tell us
concert.
about that.
Okay, February 27th, that's a Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. This is our annual family date night. Bring grandma and grandpa and all the kids. Don't get a babysitter, bring everybody. And it's just kind of a fun night out with the family. So Wild Carrot will be our performers, and they have a roots-based group. They do Americana. They'll be playing guitar, mandolin, concertina, bass, banjo. And then before the concert, we're going to have a little workshop on the first floor, just real casual. Mountain Dulcimer Society of Dayton is going to have people just kind of scattered throughout the Hayner, and the kids can just walk up and sort of experiment with a banjo, for instance, and just learn to make a note on that banjo. And then the kids will be able to go upstairs and actually hear a concert with those instruments. So
It'll be a fun evening,
Yeah.
and it's free and
free
open to the
concert,
public.
free concert.
Right.
Come at 6:30-ish for the workshop, and then the concert starts at 7:30.
Okay, and kids are always welcome at Hayner concerts, but a lot of the times the concerts, the music, the time frame are a little bit difficult for a child's attention span. But this concert, this is a lively group that will keep it moving, that knows that they're playing a family concert, but fun for everybody at every age. They're just a delightful group. So no need for a babysitter. Whole family can have a night out. It's just going to be a wonderful evening. Now let's talk jazz.
All right. Now let's talk jazz. March is our jazz month, and we're going to have Kigo Hirakawa Trio. Kigo Hirakawa he's an engineer in Dayton, and he has chosen sort of this dual path in his life, engineering and the study of piano. And his trio includes some absolutely wonderful jazz musicians local to the area. You may know them if you know jazz in this area. Eddie Brookshire will be on bass, and Fenton Sparks will be on percussion. It's going to be a very, very interesting concert. And this will be our Jazz in March, 7:30 p.m., March the 19th.
And again, free.
Free.
Right. Okay. So we'll put that on your calendar. That's super. And another thing that just like Valentine dinner and a show, you have to be a little bit prepared if you want to take advantage of Hayner classes, because there's a registration period and the time when they form in advance. So I'm looking ahead a little bit to the classes that are happening early in March. I found a couple that on the schedule that I thought were particularly interesting, and the first one I found is a Zen doodle class. And this is something that's, along with the adult coloring movement, is becoming kind of popular right now. And I think it's a lot of fun. Joy Turner Price is offering the class. And I think that when, for most of us, obviously there are great artists doing great things, but to me, I believe that art is a natural expression at some level for all of us. And most of us, I think, when we go through the public education system, if we can't produce a really beautiful picture in a half an hour, we begin to tell ourselves we can't draw. Art's not for us. And I think that Zen Doodle is a fun trend, because I think it's one of the things that might help us to open up and kind of expound on that natural expression and free ourselves a little bit. You should see my phone pad. Yeah. I definitely doodle. And Zen Doodle takes it up a notch and enables you to kind of make a creative
kind of experiment with fluidity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just let it go and learn to draw. And another one that kind of relates again to the adult coloring, which I think is fascinating, at the heart of that is a meditative practice of coloring these really elaborate mandalas. Oh. And the mandalas are actually drawn from a Hindu practice of meditation. And we actually had this experience at Hayner one time where we had Hindu monks come and Buddhist monks come and set up in the art studio. Oh. And they were here for about 3 days. No kidding. And they used sand to create, in total silence, this huge mandala. And we have a teacher that actually this spring is teaching this sand painting of mandalas, Deb Ahmed, so that you can kind of come and get a feel for where that started and what that practice and what that technique is. So I think that would be really interesting and a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. But then, one class that I think would be popular for most of us. Not all. There are some highly organized people in the world, but I'm not one of them. And for most of us, Olive Wagar is teaching a one-night seminar from overwhelmed to organized. And for $20, one evening, she is going to teach us to organize every absolute aspect of our lives. The kitchen, the pantry, the closets, everything. Anything that's a problem. And if a couple of those ideas stick, that is really going to be worth it. And that's on February the 18th from 7 to 9. So people want to sign up for those things. David, are you ready to hit the road?
Boy, are we ever.
Are you? Where are we going to go this time?
We've had so much fun doing our Hayner Hits the Road program. We have 2 trips coming up this year. Our first one, June 1st, will be to Columbus. We haven't been to Columbus yet.
Right.
We're stopping at the Columbus Museum of Art, and our own Leona Sargent from here at Hayner is going to pick 4 or 5 of their permanent collection pieces and give us a docent-led tour through the Columbus Museum of Art. And if you remember, they just opened a brand new wing at the end of last year, so we're excited to be able to go and see that. After the art museum, we're getting back on the bus and going for lunch at Schmidt's.
Ooh.
And that seems to be the big seller for this trip. Everybody's talking about Schmidt's. We'll have the buffet, including the cream puffs, the world famous cream puffs. So
cream puffs on a buffet.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
It'll be fun. Then we are going to the Franklin Park Conservatory. And I had never been there until we scoped out this trip, but let me tell you, it is just an awesome place. Beautiful. And they said the June time frame is just an excellent time to visit. Lots of spring flowers, and it will just be beautiful. That trip will cost $65 for in-district and Friends of Hayner members, and $70 if you're out of district. Registration will begin March 15th.
Okay. I think that the Franklin Park Conservatory also has entered into kind of an arts niche by incorporating Chihuly glass sculptures in amongst their plantings.
Absolutely.
It makes it kind of unique to see their gardens.
At one time, apparently, they had a full-blown exhibit of his artwork, his glass there, and over the time, he's donated some, and they've purchased some, so it's on permanent exhibition there.
Seems like a really interesting partnership.
Yes, absolutely. Then, after that, start spreading the news, because we are headed for the Big Apple, New York City. And I'm just real excited about this trip. We're firming it up. It will be September 28th through October 2nd. It's a 5-day, 4-night trip to New York City. And I'm holding 2 informational meetings about the trip coming up here in February.
Okay.
On Monday, February 8th at 7 p.m. and then Tuesday, February 9th at 3 p.m. So 2 opportunities for you to stop by the Hayner at those times, and we'll talk a little bit more about the New York trip, because it is a big trip, a 5-day, 4-night trip, and there's a cost involved.
And we do need to plan ahead if we're going to do that one. That's right. So Broadway shows?
2 Broadway shows, 2 dinners at upscale restaurants right in Times Square. We'll be staying at the Row Hotel on 8th Avenue, right in the heart of it all. The Metropolitan Museum of Art, the 9/11 Memorial, Ellis Island Statue of Liberty. We're doing it all. We're going to leave early in the morning on a Wednesday, and then the first thing we'll do that night is have dinner together, get lots of rest, because the next 3 days are just jam-packed full of activity.
That's super.
So those informational meetings, I think that really is a good idea to come and, really get the hang of what the itinerary is going to be like and the cost. When are those informational meetings again?
They are February 8th, Monday, February 8th, here at Hayner at 7, and then Tuesday, February 9th at 3 p.m. The trip is limited to the first 50 guests. The other trips, we've been able to take a few more, but this one, we are limited to 250. Not 250, but only 50 guests. Yes.
I can't think of a better way to see the Big Apple than to get on a bus.
Let somebody else drive.
Oh, yeah, and let David solve all the problems. And all we have to do is just sit back and enjoy the ride. I'm just really looking forward to that. It would be so much fun.
Let me just say one more thing. If you check our website out, Terry Lynn has done an awesome job of the banners about both trips. Click on the banners and you'll have a lot more information about those trips.
About either one.
Yep.
And our website, of course, is troyhayner.org. So everything that we're talking about, you're going to find details about all of that. And there is so much to talk about. It just goes on because it's such a full month, and we have so many exciting things planned. Another thing that's happening, again, early March, because the February one is gone, is the film series. Oh. And in March, they're showing Streetcar Named Desire with Vivian Leigh and Marlon Brando. And it's a classic Tennessee Williams play that I think is the one that really kind of boosted Marlon Brando to stardom.
Made him who he was.
Oh, yeah, I think so. So, and of course, the film series, it's got a great following, good audience every month. And we kind of kick back on the seating. It's in the ballroom, but we kind of go for cafe tables and chairs so that it's kind of a casual environment.
And
free
popcorn.
And the
pop are free.
Yes, the whole thing. It's just a wonderful opportunity to come out on a Friday night, and do something a little special. So we hope people take advantage of that. There's only 1 week left of the Young Masters exhibit in the house. And then following that, there will be an exhibit of 200 years of education in Troy. Yeah, so we have a committee of teachers, former teachers, and the Historical Society that have put together a really nice exhibit about education in Troy. And, all the time I've been here, people have talked about, how Troy is such a wonderful place to live and work and raise families, and our school system has been touted as second to none. And of course, as from the art education standpoint, the Young Masters on the Wall is an amazing,
That's a
testament
to our school
it
system.
Is. But I think that this exhibit will really get the alumni out, to see.
Yeah.
They might even find their own pictures on the wall.
You should find things about our school system, but there's also some really interesting little things that maybe you didn't know about our school system and how things began and where schools used to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So there should be some things you've never heard before, and also some things that happened in your life.
That's true. And then, last but not least, on February 26th, the Troy Main Street has planned a wonderful evening downtown. Paint the Town Red, and they're inviting people to come out and enjoy the stores downtown.
The downtown area.
And, yes,
right.
and participate in. I think the merchants are planning some treats, some cheese, some wine, some chocolate. Yes,
Everybody
and
should be
Hayner,
open late.
yeah, of course we'll have a presence downtown, but we're also participating by inviting people to round out their evening to come to an open house at the Hayner Center. You know, it is our 40th anniversary year, so we're going to have special anniversary desserts. And we're going to have music by the Dave and Wine Trio.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. What kind of music are you going to play?
We do standards, classics, show tunes. We do it all. We just have a lot of fun playing together. It's my brother on bass and a friend of mine on percussion, Devin Mitchell, and we just enjoy playing
Just
together.
have a good time. That's great.
Yeah.
So when things close down there,
Right.
just mosey on to the Hayner and
Right.
have some dessert.
Right. Have dinner downtown,
Yeah.
shop till you
Yeah.
drop, and then come to the Hayner to close it out. And you have an opportunity to see the exhibit, the tours, everything on that night. So just come and enjoy. And remember that it is your house, and we hope you will take advantage of the things that are happening. Check the website frequently at troyhayner.org to get all of the details, and that is the View from Hayner.